Hey, Friendo, Steve here.
And Larson.
And welcome back to Going in Raw, the only pro wrestling podcast you need to be listening to right here at youtube.com/Stephen Larson. It's available wherever podcasts can be found. If you're listening to us in the audio realm, hey, do us a favor. Leave us a rating, review, or a comment, or rating, review, or a, what is it? Rating, review, or a something else. A comment,
podcast world?
Yeah, a review, a rating, yeah, in the audio realm. There's a third thing I thought.
No, I think it's just two. It's just a rating and review.
Rating and a review. Give us
on
a
YouTube,
5-star.
It's 3 things.
On YouTube, if you could hit that thumbs up, hit that subscribe button, little notify bell, be a huge, huge favor here for Going in Raw. On today's episode, of course, we're going to be talking about last night's Monday Night Raw on the road to WrestleMania. There's only, I think, one more of these Raw episodes before WrestleMania.
1 Raw, 2 SmackDowns.
And we got our answer as to how they're going to motivate the tag title match between the Usos and Sami Zayn. They just did it. They just made it.
Yeah. Hey, we're brothers. You're brothers. Let's fight.
It's WrestleMania. I mean, they'd show up at the beginning, Sami and Kevin, and they're like, yeah, there's a sign up there. WrestleMania is coming up. Let's go ahead and do this. Usos come out and say no, and then shenanigans happen, and then it's like, yes, it is going to happen.
Well, it was all Jay just said, oh, wait, hold on. Because Jimmy was like, no, you don't deserve it. You've only been friends again for like 3 days. You don't deserve it.
Yeah.
And Jay's like, well, this could be our chance to finally put an end to this Sami Kevin problem for good.
Mm-hmm.
Yes.
Oh, yeah, that's right.
And Jimmy's like, sure.
I thought, after all the flack you got yesterday for fantasy booking, which I thought was unwarranted. Look, it's all just wrestling opinions here.
I know.
You're wrong, Larson. You're wrong. No, you don't have to defend yourself.
No, I'm not trying to defend myself. I admit sometimes I'm not the most articulate person. See? I'm not the most articulate person. So
you're articulate just fine. You made your case, and it was a good case.
I wasn't upset because my fantasy booking didn't happen.
Oh, you're upset.
I'm not saying I wasn't upset. I wasn't upset because my fantasy booking didn't happen. There was something I had in my mind that was like, man, it'd be great if it went this way. This is how I told. This is the last time I'm going to say about it because I've said my piece. I said to you in the pre-show, and this is like the real simple terms I had to put it. I've been pretty upfront about being fairly lukewarm on Cody for a very long time, and that really hasn't changed as of late. And I was really into the Bloodline storyline. So you take something that's lukewarm and put it in something that's hot, it brings the temperature down.
Man, I'll tell you what, that promo last night at the end of Raw was hot, and I want to talk about. I want to talk to you about that because that was some good stuff. We'll get to that in a little bit. But no, you know what I thought would have been kind of cooler than just like, hey, match, let's do match now.
Yeah.
It would have been kind of cool if the Usos said no and then Roman told him yes. Mm-hmm. That would have been kind of cool because I thought that was how it was going to go down because they're like, hey, we want the tag titles. And Jimmy was like, no. And I thought Roman was going to be the one to step in and be like, you guys look like this problem. You guys look like bitches right now. You need to take care of this problem and beat them at WrestleMania and they'll go away. And then when they lose, then they'll have more motivation and be like,
the onus is on Roman.
Man,
not
fuck
on them.
that guy. Yeah, exactly. But whatever.
The whole opening segment, to a degree, felt obligatory, though.
Yeah, I know. They had to. Sami and Kevin Owens coming out. It was they had to come out and like celebrate their togetherness.
It was, yeah, I know. But like the challenge being issued was almost like a parody of WrestleMania challenges to a degree.
Yeah, I know. But here's the thing: the point that they made was sound. It is WrestleMania.
Yeah.
Like the point is, let's run some ropes with some people.
Let's settle this dispute that with like rich emotional issues going on here by running ropes. Yes.
Yeah. So let's talk about that ending segment with Cody Rhodes playing some mind games with the Bloodline. He's got him shook. Man.
Yeah, Roman, I mean, he just up front. I mean, this goes back to Heyman saying without belts, Bloodline is basically nothing.
Yeah.
And so Cody's reminding Roman, these are the stakes. It's not just you maybe losing those titles. It's you losing everything. Because without those belts, your authority as head of the table, poof, gone.
You have a lot more to lose than I do.
Yeah.
Because that's gone. Jay's going to leave you, which really stung Roman. And again, man, I've said this in the past, and I echo it here. when, and for reference, I'll use the big cry face promo between John Cena and Roman Reigns. Two guys who seem to not actually like each other at all, and really, I think went out there, and I know that there were a bunch of writers involved in everything, but they went out there to sort of out promo each other as opposed to use the metaphor, dance with each other and be on the same page to make it as best as it could be. Now, nobody could foresee John Cena making it as best as it could be by calling him out for writing notes on his wrist.
On the Rock, yeah.
But last night, the interplay between Cody and Roman selling what Cody had to say, because when you say something like, you started a company you couldn't even get over in, and you ran away like a little bitch, that's hard to come back from if you're not willing to sell what the other guy is going to say. Luckily, Cody is very eloquent with his rundowns, but he was pretty damn good. And he made a pretty good case that, hey, when you lose these titles, when I wake up the next day, if I've lost, I've just lost. If you lose the thing that is keeping your family together. Jay's going to leave you. Jimmy's going to follow you. Solo, who's been glaring at me all night, he might leave. And then he put some seeds of doubt in Solo's head by saying he's not ready. And then Roman just walks away. He can't deal with it. He just walks away. And then Solo doesn't listen to him. Solo goes rogue and wants to fight Cody right there, and Cody pulls an Arn Anderson and blocks a metaphorical black mass. It was the Samoan Spike, way Arn Anderson did. And then Roman had to look like kind of an asshole by getting up and physically stopping him from doing another one.
Yeah.
It was, and Roman not selling that would have just made the whole thing look stupid. And that's why you need two performers who are so on the same page and committed to telling the best story they can. And that's what we saw last night.
Yeah, it's the difference between trying to sell a match and telling a story. And what Cena and Roman were trying to do was sell a match. Or even
Cena and Rock.
Cena and Rock. Yeah, you mentioned Roman earlier, but yeah, Cena and Rock.
I meant Cena Rock when I was first talking. Okay. The wrist thing. Yeah,
that's it felt like it was a year of Cena Rock selling a match that wasn't going to happen for several months out, as opposed to here. This is an ongoing story that's been evolving for the better part of 3+ years, and now they're setting up for potentially the finale of this story. The conclusion of the story, where everything falls apart for Roman, or maybe not. I would anticipate Cody gets the win here, and Roman takes his leave, as we've been speculating on for a while. But who knows? Maybe the one thing I still feel is missing from Cody's journey is storyline obstacles, adversity. He hasn't really faced much since he's come back to WWE. I know he torn his pec, but that's a real injury. I'm talking in terms of the story they're telling for him.
Yeah, but come on, man. To play. I don't 1,000% disagree with you, but I kind of disagree with you on that one. I think the torn pec being woven into his story of having to do that Hell in a Cell match is a pretty darn big barrier to his return.
He needs to lose.
My bad. That sort of, I guess, remains to be seen.
Or he needs to be at the losing end of something, not necessarily lose a match. You tear your pec, you go through rehab, you come back, Yeah,
that's a pretty big deal. He had to be gone for ages.
He needs to question his mission. He needs to question whether he can fulfill his story.
No, man, he's 100% confidence. His confidence level is up all the way.
I just don't find that terribly interesting.
Man, I do. It's what I aspire to, man. It's great. My confidence level is like they're at 23 or so. His is at 100.
Oh, yeah. If yours is at 23, mine's single digits.
Oh, man.
I read the comments about my fantasy book, and I'm like, oh, God, people hate me.
Oh, no.
No, I don't do that.
Larson shook is the thumbnail.
Yeah, I know. I kid. I read that, like, whatever.
Yeah, I'm surprised you still read those things. But yeah, no, I thought it was an incredibly effective promo. It was well written. It was excellently executed. And yeah, the Solo stuff. Whenever you see Roman shook, it's really a sight. That dude is a phenomenal performer. He really is a next level performer, because to see him shook, it doesn't happen very often. Once you get it, it's like, oh God, the world's off. Things are weird now. And I thought that was really good. Now, what I'm thinking is going to happen, given that we have one go home left, is Roman is going to be like, enough with these mind games. I'm going to fuck this dude up before WrestleMania.
Yeah.
And next week, man, if they had any Kavorka, they would allow Cody Rhodes to get a bloody mask, a crimson mask.
I mean, they referenced that last night.
Yeah. Yeah. Blood in my mouth.
They should.
They should
That's
do
adversity.
that. So Roman wrecks him physically before WrestleMania, because clearly he can't spar with him on a mental level. And then of course Cody wins at WrestleMania.
Yeah, they should. They should have make it feel like the odds are extraordinarily stacked against Cody, because right now you don't get that vibe.
Because if Cody continues to mentally sort of disable Roman Reigns, then like clearly Cody's gonna lose at WrestleMania. It's just not. You're right. That's not as interesting if Roman goes in there and he looks like an asshole. We saw that at WrestleMania 34.
Yeah. If next week is more of the same, where Cody, like Roman and/or Heyman try to play mind games on Cody. Cody turns it around,
like
and leaves
that.
them shook. I know, like the go home segment on SmackDown, whatever. And then they walk into WrestleMania, and that dynamic hasn't changed, and Roman loses. Yeah, Roman's gonna look like a huge jerk.
Well, it's just more importantly, it's not compelling,
and it's not compelling. No,
and that's your point. Is Cody needs to get on the he needs to get his ass whooped a little bit. And I'm hoping
to be on the
that,
short end of something. Yes,
right, exactly. And so that's Roman needs to say, look, you can talk all the shit you want. You can talk about your story. I'm not here to talk anymore. And then he just completely handcuffs him and blasts him in the head with a chair 11 times.
Yeah, the blood is everywhere.
Right, exactly. Just like it's like a Mox, but times 10.
Like it was like the early previews of the AEW video game.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
There's just blood everywhere. It should be like that.
The entire match, one big puddle of blood.
Yeah.
That definitely needs to happen next week, because I do agree with your larger point in that Cody needs to feel he's got to feel the sting a little bit,
Yeah, because he doesn't feel under threat really at all.
No, he really doesn't.
And since his confidence level is so high, it's like, okay, well, you say this, whatever. Mm-hmm. It's like he's Teflon, he's bulletproof. Nothing gets through him.
Mm-hmm.
And if he doesn't feel vulnerable in any way, I don't feel like he's at risk of losing. Mm-hmm. Therefore, there's no drama.
Right. Yeah, exactly. Yeah. No, I'm with you on that one 100%. I'll write that on a YouTube comment right now. Larson, you're completely right.
Look at thanks, buddy.
Boost your
Use your
confidence
burner account to do that.
No, 100%.
Hey, there's a couple people said, hey, Larson,
I know.
right.
No, that's what I thought that your shit really did spur some decent conversation. I mean, there are some people who are just, Larson, you're wrong. It's like, no, that's not conversation. But there are some people who are making some good points because of what you were saying yesterday. I like that kind of stuff, man. It's all wrestling, man. It's all just criticism. Also, of course, we talked about this a little bit already. Kevin Owens and Sami Zayn, they come out. They're happy that they're together again. The Usos come out. Ooh, bad guys. And it's made official for WrestleMania. The Usos versus Kevin Owens and Sami Zayn. Crowd's really into it. They're really hyped for this. I think that brothers versus brothers is man. I think that people are going to be really into this match. I think there's going to be a lot of drama behind this match. I'm excited to see it.
Yeah. I mean, in theory, unless Cody shows a bit of vulnerability, there could be more drama in this match than there would be in the main event of WrestleMania.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. No,
the drama in that is just to see how it unfolds, not so much who's going to win.
I think, with Raw, you're right. With this week's Raw, they did endeavor to separate Cody from Sami and Kevin Owens, but I do think that next week on Raw or SmackDown or whatever the go home is going to be.
Just wait for that 6-man tag match, buddy.
Well, I think that there should be some amount of like, oh, you three think that you're going to take down the Bloodline. We have to have one last big Bloodline standing tall if this is going to be the end of WrestleMania. They got to stand tall over just the bloody heap of these three dudes. Roman and the dudes need to stack them. Whether that shouldn't be, they shouldn't do some goofy ass match. That'd be terrible. But they should absolutely annihilate all three of these guys heading into WrestleMania because they're getting the upper hand at every move here.
Mm-hmm. This could be interesting to see if they actually go the route of Roman laying out Cody, on their go home segment, or are they going to try to keep the physicality strictly to WrestleMania? Because I could see why they might think that'd be advantageous. The first time they ever lock up, they ever, throw hands, anything, is in the main event of WrestleMania. They might think that is the way to go.
It could be. I mean, he's got a whole 3 people that can be physical. It could be Roman sicking the Usos on and Solo on Cody and Kevin, and it doesn't have to. That would be cheesy if it was a match with a runner.
I mean, like if the 6-man is going to happen, it's going to be Cody, Kevin, and Sami against the Usos and Solo.
Right? Roman wouldn't be involved in that. Yeah, but then they might think that an actual match like that would just make Cody look like he's on Solo's level and not Roman's level. I get the feeling that we're just going to end up with like a pull apart because Triple H he loves pull aparts.
Yeah, I know.
Also. Finally, with the one episode left of Raw, we had some physicality between Asuka and Bianca Belair, the opponents coming up at WrestleMania for the Raw Women's title. It took place after a Can They Coexist match. They were able to coexist. I mean, they won. They won the match. Yeah. Didn't they? Yeah, they won the match.
They did.
Yeah. And so Asuka, she didn't miss Bianca. I still fully expect this to be Bianca. Bianca wins this match, and I think Rhea's going to win the other one.
Yeah, it's as good as the Bloodline story has been for the last 3 years, as good as the Rey and Dom story has been of late. It's very disappointing that both the women's feuds have been fairly tepid.
Tepid's a good word to describe it.
I mean, they tried to do something on SmackDown with the Rhea Charlotte pull apart. At least there was some intensity there.
But then this week, dude, you just have Rhea Ripley come out and jaw a bunch. She just talks a bunch, and it's like that's not. I will give credit to Triple H. Since SummerSlam, since he took over, he has turned between her and what they're doing with Judgment Day. She is where she needs to be.
Yeah,
she is vicious. She is brutal. The edge she has is just, it's really cool. Yep. And she's really found herself as a character. Her character should not be the kind of person who comes out and has to cut a promo and deal with people wutting her. That's just not what she should be about.
No, I know. She should be a character of action.
Yeah. Yeah.
And if, and that's not to say that Rhea's not a good promo. I think she is. But like the tack they're taking with the story just isn't the most. It's just not the most impactful. It's not the one that leads to action. It's just like, hey, I'm going to show you that I'm better than I was 3 years ago. All right. And that's kind of it.
Yeah, I know. Like Rhea should be a bit a bit more. There just needs to be a lot more intensity to this thing.
Yeah.
And like you said, they did a decent job on SmackDown. That last image of her going, devil, that was really good. And then so for her to come out, bloop, 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 and then drop like a 10-minute long promo. It's just, that's not, like, I don't know, set some traps for Charlotte or some shit like that. Do something.
Or come out in Raw and call her out and then have Bayley show up instead.
Yeah.
Be like, hey, because Bayley's like, hey, I appreciate what you're doing. But if you want advice, you should ask me. And then you could have Rita says, Charlotte, get out here right now.
What this should have been, man? This should have been the go home to WrestleMania 2019's main event. Charlotte, Becky, and Ronda. That go home segment of just chaos. It should be that every week. This should be like Roman Braun 2017, where things are just falling apart at the seams whenever they get in the same vicinity of each other. That's what this should have been.
Or if it's a situation where Rhea's like, oh, I'll prove to you that I'm better than I was 3 years ago. And like we saw last night with her beating Bayley, kind of with some help via distraction, but she should just have match, and destroy everybody.
Yeah, I know. Yeah, I agree. Yeah, and do the thing that they were kind of doing with Austin Theory, where she like uses Charlotte's moves, just have her, proving, like you said, through action, not through words.
Yes.
And then it seems like our suspicions were true. Edge in a very pixely promo, where it's like his floating head, and then
the front-facing camera so you can get his framing right.
Matthew had. That's exactly what this was. Matthew had it perfect on Twitter. He said he looked like the floating head from Mist. And then he did a little thing. Matthew's great. But yeah, so he called out the demon. So we're going to get the demon at WrestleMania. It makes all the sense in the world because it's WrestleMania and the demon is spectacle. I just really hope that the demon is just like a shittier version of the current Finn Balor.
Oh, I know.
Who's fantastic.
I know. That'd be great.
Like the entire match is like, yeah, he's just one big flex the entire time.
Yeah, exactly. Walks out like this.
Yeah. It's just he's doing that the whole time. So anyways, let's go ahead and dive into it. Raw kicked off. We're in St. Louis. Kevin Owens and Sami Zayn comes down, and KO says, I think they kind of like you. And then they start cheering Owens, and Sami says, sounds like they like you too, pal. And it's like, oh, you guys this is too much sugar, man. There's a lot of sweetness going on here. So anyways, Sami says, I have to say it feels really, really good to come out on the same page again. I thought Sami was going to dig himself into another hole here because he was talking a bunch at the beginning. I was like, is he going to stick his foot in his mouth again? But no, didn't really do that. He says, it feels really good to come out and be on the same page again. I didn't tell you last week, but I get it. After the chamber, I kept saying we need to work together and not be friends, and approaching it like a business transaction, which was literally my words yesterday. He says, we never did that. We needed each other our whole careers. We've done it as brothers. And Owens comes back with, you're right, but there's one thing. For 20 years, I was your biggest fan. I always have been. Whenever people ask me who the best in-ring I've been in, who's the best person I've been in the ring with, it was Sami Zayn. For 6 months, it was so frustrating seeing you held under Roman's thumb when you were better than any of them. You outgrew them right away. You knew it, I knew it, they knew it, and all these people knew it. I couldn't take it. Well, last week you got through to me. It's time to take down the Bloodline together.
Hold on.
Yeah.
It wasn't as glaring as other instances, but it seems like another instance where they haven't talked since Friday.
You know what? In this case, I'll excuse it because it seems like, because you're right, but it seems like this isn't necessarily for them, but it's for them and the audience writ large.
That's what I say. It's not as glaring as other instances, but
no, sometimes it's just weird. It's like, what you guys have
literally.
phones.
Oh, you've had a whole week. Your brothers, you've had a whole week. You haven't talked.
Yeah, that is weird. We know you ride together. So anyways, they stare at the WrestleMania sign, says, I think we both know what comes next. Almost in a satirical way.
Yes, exactly.
So the Usos come out, Larson.
Yep, they both come to the ringside area, and Jay says, you see what I see? That right there is what a backstabber looks like. Yeah, Sami, you're just going to backstab each other too because you're the family that cuts each other's throats. And Sami says, you want to talk about backstabbing? It's your biggest dream to backstab Roman.
Ooh, and Jay kind of reels at that when he's like,
no,
don't say
Jimmy
that.
says, you're dreaming, Sami, wake up. You're staring at that sign, but nothing's going to happen at WrestleMania. Let's cut to the chase. You know what we're thinking. That's what Kevin Owens says, and all the people think the same thing. One way to settle it in one place, Jimmy and your brother against me and my brother for the tag titles at WrestleMania. Huge yes chant. Break out the crowd. Everybody wants to see this match. So Jimmy says, we're the greatest tag team in the world. You don't deserve a shot. You've been good for what, 3 minutes? We've been close since day one. And Jay says, to be honest, though, he thinks about this. He actually interrupts Jimmy because Jimmy's going on, and he's like, hold on. To be honest, though, this might be our one shot to put the Sami Zayn and Kevin Owens problem in the dirt. So yeah, brother versus brother, WrestleMania we accept. But we don't have to wait till then. Let's get started now. So they hit the ring. Brawl breaks out. And in the midst of brawl, Sami sent for a haluva kick, but Jimmy pulls Jay out. They grab some chairs. Ready to hit the ring with chairs in hand. Then on the Tron, SUV pulls up.
Mm-hmm.
It's Solo. It's Roman. It's Heyman. So they start making the way towards the arena, and the Usos are like,
yeah, uh-oh.
Should we do? No? All right.
Yeah.
And then we just cut to commentary.
Yeah. Yeah. So after that, we've got A-Town down. Austin Theory versus Montez Ford. And then, yeah, this is a really good match, man. I feel like Montez Ford is going to be a future single star in the WWE. But at least they're going to put him. They're totally going to. Street Profits totally winning that WrestleMania showcase with no qualifying matches. You think they're going to give it to Alpha Academy?
No.
It ain't going to be the Viking Raiders. It ain't going to be Braun and Ricochet.
Why do you think it's going to be Braun and Ricochet?
Because they're not like a real tag team.
Well, they're trying to make them. Well, the Viking Raiders are a real tag team.
Yeah, come on, man.
Well, I mean, if that's your reason for Braun and Ricochet not winning.
Come on, the power rank here has got to be Street Profits. Here's the thing about Alpha Academy. I feel like they have a shot just because of the discord between them now. Like Otis is going to get back on the same page with Chad Gable, right?
No, I don't know about that.
You think after Mania he's going to go all in on the he is really easily distracted.
He's so easily distracted. He's in the middle of a match. He's going to see Maxine Dupree, and she's be like, "Hey, hand model for me. Come on." Hey, and he's going to go.
Not going to lie. I'd be distracted by her as well. Not going to lie.
So,
oh man.
I mean, in my mind, Alpha Academy are last if we're power ranking those 4 teams.
Oh man.
Chad Gable might take that pin.
Bro, the Viking Raiders, they're last.
No, they're not.
They're not going to win shit.
I'm not saying they're going to win. They're third. They ain't going to win either.
I think they're fourth, and then it is Braun and Ricochet, and then Alpha Academy and the Street Profits.
You got way too much. You got way too much faith in Alpha Academy, man.
What do you got? What's your power rank? Give me 1 through 4.
I'd have Street Profits and Ricochet and Braun tied at top.
You can't tie. No tying. Come on, man. Make
1A,
a decision.
1B.
Give me some Kavorka.
Equal odds.
Equal odds of winning. Decide.
I gotta see more. I'll wait till after SmackDown.
Oh, no Kavorka.
I don't have the full story here yet.
You ain't got the full Kavorka.
I don't know if you're using that word correctly.
Probably not. I don't even know what it means. You know who does have Kavorka? Austin Theory. He hit A-Town down on Montez Ford last night.
That's not even correct there either. It's been a while since you've seen that Seinfeld episode, I guess. Huh?
Doesn't it mean just, well, I just say it because LA Knight says it.
Yeah.
He's the guy who just says, hey, I got the Kavorka. Doesn't it just mean like the juice?
No.
No? Does it mean
like
the balls?
Sexual energy.
Yeah. That's the juice, man. It's like, hey, I'm feeling good. Feeling good right now. It's a lewd term? Really? That's what Joe Juarez says.
Seinfeld, it's like Kramer goes into the Latvian Orthodox Church, and there's one of the nuns there, smitten with him, and he doesn't want to like take her away from her life with God, so he goes to the father there, and he says, "You got the Kavorka."
Oh, it's okay. So Mopey Corbin here says it's sexiness. You know, I feel like sexiness is like confidence. Yeah, man, it's the Kavorka. It's all good.
And Austin Theory. They have Kramer bathe in vinegar and have make him wear garlic around his neck or something like that.
Oh yeah, I remember that part. Yeah, and he was all gross. Yeah.
Yeah. Then she goes, "You need to go take a bath. You stink."
Yeah. And that's your Seinfeld minute with Larson.
I don't know Austin Theory.
Austin Theory. I'm not lying when I say Austin Theory. He's got some Kavorka. He's a sexy guy. Whether or not that helped him last night, I don't know. He hit A-Town down on Montez Ford, another guy with plenty of Kavorka. After the match, Theory grabs a mic. He didn't believe in me, and now he does. John Cena, he means, you don't believe in me, but at WrestleMania, you will. And he points to the sign, and then he just starts screaming, "It's my time now!"
Yeah. I mean, Austin Theory, he's still really playing into John Cena's thesis that there's not much going on there.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Then we're backstage. Roman is in the locker room. The Usos come in and sit next to Roman. And Roman says to him, "Not the best start of the night. Took a beating out there." And Jimmy says, "Yeah, I took a few shots, but you know what? It's worth it to take a beating instead of being torn." He's like this feels like he's giving Roman the business here.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, man.
It's worth it to take a beating instead of being torn away from my brother than sit here and have to answer like it's my fault.
And he said that with like a bit of.
It was very pointed at Roman. Yeah,
it was, and the crowd even sort of gasped. You could hear him go.
But then he says, he takes a pause. "I'll never forgive Sami Zayn. At WrestleMania, we got him." And Roman just says, "All right, I hope so. I really do." He says to Heyman, "Wise man, everyone leave us." And he goes, "No, Jay, you stay." So Jay, with a heavy sigh, he's not looking at Roman during this entire bit.
Right.
And so he sits back down, slide next to Roman. We go to commercial, we come back. And Roman is not looking at Jay. Jay's not looking at Roman. And Roman says, "It's been a minute. Haven't heard or seen from you. I got to beg your brother for answers, and now you're making decisions," referring to the tag title match at Mania. Mm-hmm. Says, "In order to make decisions, you got to be part of the bloodline. Are you with us? Are you still with my family?" Jay hesitates. He pauses. He says, quietly, "I'm with you. I'm bloodline, Oos." And Roman says, "I hope so. That's all I needed to hear. I'll see you later." And then Jay starts to get up, and Roman puts his hand on his knee, like on his shin, I guess, to stop him, and goes, "I love you."
I love you.
And then Jay gets up and leaves, and then Heyman walks up to Roman and says, Tribal Chief, did you find the answers you were looking for? And he says, yes.
You know, man, I really got to revisit that the old Roman Jay stuff back when he used to say, I love you all the time. And it was because it was devastating. And I get somewhere in there lies the answer of how this turn is going to happen at WrestleMania.
Well, also, too, it's interesting that Roman says, I love you to Jay just a few days after Sami Zayn says that to Kevin Owens. That was seemingly the thing that turned Kevin around on Sami. So maybe Roman is thinking, oh, if I remind Jay that I love him, maybe that will bring Jay back in.
Yeah.
Instead of just being here for his brother.
Yeah, man. I got a couple super chats here. Ashley Zarzar here says Edge's promo reminded me of Evil Zordon.
Oh, yeah.
Also, Ashley became a channel member. Thank you so much, Ashley. Caleb says they need to push LA Knight after Mania. I suspect they probably will. Yeah. Let's see here. Guardian here with a $5 super chat says, I get wanting as many wrestlers as you can get at Mania, but the whole jumbled tag team matches for no title just seems unnecessary and uninteresting. So I'm cool with it because I think the matches will be pretty good. And I do appreciate putting, all together, 16 more people on the WrestleMania.
Well, 32, wouldn't it be? No, 16, you're right.
At WrestleMania, 8 and 8. I'm cool with that, man. I'm cool with that. I think that it's going to be a good look. If they're going to be 3.5 hour shows anyways, then, you go ahead and do that. I'm cool with that.
Yeah, I'm cool with it. I kind of miss the Battle Royals because Battle Royals are fun.
I do miss that. I would have actually preferred a Battle Royal. 100%. I agree with that. Anyways, after that, we are backstage with Pierce. He's with Byron. Chelsea interrupts. She's like, I'd like you to know I made matching gear for my tag partner who's not even available. So you'll have no problem agreeing to my new partner, someone with no love lost for Bianca and Asuka. This is Piper Niven. Talk to whoever you have to and make it official. And Adam's like, look, man, for the 1,000th time, I'm the one who makes everything official. And then Green says, well, make me part of the WrestleMania showcase. Then he's like, look, I'm going to talk. I was going to talk to you about that. And then she's like, you know what? You better put me in. And also make this match tonight. I'm going to block you on social media. Make it official. And so he makes it official.
Yeah, Chelsea Green is doing a pretty good job of getting a lot more mileage out of this character, which seemingly, when he first heard about it, I was like, okay, this is really one note and one dimensional.
And that shocks me none at all. She is terrific.
She's great.
Yeah,
she's great. And
I think she's really run with it. It really works, like within the world of wrestling as well. Like they've made it work. And I think she's. I'm so glad that the last 2 times she was there in WWE, she got injured super quick. And I'm so glad that, so far so good with Chelsea Green.
Yep. Next, we got this pretty well done Amos Brock Lesnar video package. Kind of like a tail of the tape type of deal. Height, weight, hand size.
Yeah.
So then we got Amos taking on Mustafa Ali. This match was exceptionally short. Ali loses to Amos via choke bomb, and afterwards MVP says of Amos, he fears no man, animal, or beast, but Brock will learn to fear him. And then we're backstage. Security knocks on Logan Paul's door. He walks out. Miz walks up to him. It's like, hey, my publicist's been trying to get a hold of you all day. Hoping that you'll have me on as the guest on Impulsive TV today. And Logan just says, nah, sorry. That's going to be a hard pass. And so he's talking to some guy. I don't know who it is. They walk off. As we go to commercial, we come back, and then we got Impulsive TV with no guest. It's just Logan Paul. Logan really needs to learn to not talk over people's theme songs.
Yeah, look, I'll be honest with you. With this segment, that was kind of my one complaint, because otherwise, I really don't have any desire to see him on my TV. Dude cuts a decent promo. He really does. I mean, he hits all the traditional pro wrestling beats. There were no let me tell you something's in there, but he did. When he says, he's
got work to do then.
I don't have any of my celebrity. He does. I don't have any of my celebrity friends to come here because nobody's going to want to come to St. Louis. And he runs down, the fact that the Rams left town, which is an easy spot, but he does. He's got damn good promo skills. He really does. Not enough for me to give a shit about this match or him. But man, in terms of if this dude had come up on the indies and wasn't a piece of shit influencer, I'd be into Logan Paul. I would be, because I think that he's a damn good promo. He's a damn good wrestler. But yeah, I don't know. I just can't get past the history, man. Just can't.
Oh yeah. Oh, and like, whatever positives there were for this whole thing, when Seth comes out and he starts talking over his theme, just saying the same crap over and over. Oh, yeah. You're tone deaf.
Yeah, no, I know.
The crowd. I'm like, oh, you just be quiet.
Just shut up. Just shut up. Let the moment happen. It doesn't have to be all about you. So, anyways, I'm not going to go down his whole promo. It's fairly lengthy. He runs down the city. He says nobody wants to be here. At a certain point, his mic gives out. And he's like, oh, what's going on here? So he gets another mic out, and then it shows Seth Rollins up on the Tron. He's in the truck, and he's like messing with like, the levels on the mic, and then he hits his own theme song, and it shows him dancing all the way from the truck to the arena. Like you said, Logan is just blah, blah, blah during the thing. And then they just sort of Seth gets in the ring. He's like, you ruined my segment. You're pretty stupid. Seth takes Logan down, drags him out of the ring. We get a big pull apart. Seth tries to go over from the announce table, I think. And he ends up like almost, because one of the dudes that was supposed to catch him sort of undershot where Seth was going, or Seth overshot him. And Seth sort of toppled in a kind of a scary way, but he was all right. Yeah. And then Logan ends up getting another knockout punch on Seth, amidst the scramble there, and then he was laughing and walking away from that. So yeah.
So far, I believe Logan Paul has 2 more knockouts in WWE than he has in his entire boxing career.
Oh yeah.
I don't think he's knocked anybody out in any of his boxing matches.
Well, yes, I don't care about the guy. I don't have a retort to that. Nope. Not surprising. Is he the guy? No. Like, do they both just take on lumps? I think this brother's actually like a decent boxer, right?
He lost his last match, though.
Was that like, does he fight? I forget. Maybe Chad can remind us. Do they fight real people? They fight real people.
Yeah. Right? I can't remember if it was Logan or Jake fought Floyd Mayweather.
Yeah, right. Yeah. Was that the exhibition one?
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah. Dope says Jake is pretty decent. That's what I thought. And then Tommy Fury just beat Jake Paul. But Tommy Fury, he's supposed to be pretty decent, though, right? Yeah, like, he wasn't like a chump, I think.
Yeah.
So, I don't know. Yeah. Whatever. Doesn't matter.
After that, we had Dom taking on John Gargano. Gargano's walking in with the rib tape. They're really selling the busted up ribs from the altercation with Waller outside of John's house on NXT. So much so that Dom got a clean win over Johnny Wrestling here. So John's on top looking for a superplex. Dom throws him off the top rope, hits a frog splash on his lower back to get the win.
Mm-hmm.
Then Dom grabs the mic and says, last Friday night on SmackDown, my good-for-nothing father denied my challenge once again to a match at WrestleMania. But you know what? I'm not stopping until I get what I want. At the end of the day, this Friday in Las Vegas, the whole Mysterio family is there live, and that's the same family that blocked my number, kicked me out of the group chat, and wanted nothing to do with me. I figured out a way to get you to accept my match, and that's why that's when I say hi to Mom and ask her permission. That's if you have the balls to get them out of her purse.
This is going to be good.
Mm-hmm.
This is going to be good, because this is going to be the moment where Ray is like, okay, fine, I'm going to fuck you up, kid. Yeah, I'm looking forward to that segment, man. I really am.
Yeah, should be.
I don't know how that's going to go down. I don't know what he's going to do, what pratfalls are going to happen. Somebody going to fall in a cake or something. I don't know. But it's going to be good.
There's supposed to be cake there.
What is the ceremony for? Is it for like a...
I don't know.
This Friday in Vegas, the whole Mysterio family is there live.
You'd think it would be, if it was a ceremony about him being in the Hall of Fame, that would be on the Friday before WrestleMania.
Yeah, they're going to be there live.
They're just going to be there, yeah.
All right. Yeah. That's going to be good regardless. So after that, the Usos and Solo are backstage as Heyman walks up. I wonder if it's just a matter of like Ray's wife, if Dom's mom is like, I'll give you permission, Ray. Go kick his ass. He needs it,
Yeah.
So the Usos and Solo are backstage. Heyman walks up. He says, are you guys waiting on the tribal chief? He's waiting for you to get the food that got delivered. Lobster, crab, mahi-mahi in the jet. He wants you to take the night off, but not you, Solo. He wants to talk to you. And they're like, yeah, man. Solo's not going to get mahi-mahi.
Yeah, that's funny that Jay was like, well, I guess no mahi-mahi for Solo.
Yeah, exactly. Then we had this weird Edge video package totally on the front-facing camera.
Oh, it's a Matt Chat question, a candlelit Matt Chat question from Edge here.
This is like a Wayne Maker Matt Chat question.
It is, when he was in the van. So Ed says, if you push me, I will not just resist. I will throw you through a wall. I am a hostile man. To keep me locked in a cage, to keep me away from society. In the cage, nothing matters. I will revel in it. I will savor it. You have no idea what happens when the door shuts behind you, but I do. I have been baptized by the dead man himself. It's become my cathedral of pain, the streak that runs through me. You not become what you need, being who you are. Hell couldn't handle your demons. The scriptures say, yeah, I walk through the valley of the shadow of death. I fear no evil. I never have. I am the evil in the valley. So bring me your demon to meet the devil. You'd like to meet him.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, this is goofy, but it was cool. You know, it's fine.
It was just the setup that was goofy. I mean, assuming Edge like does all this stuff himself. Like
I would imagine. Yeah, I think you're right. But like, you know, putting this up on my big screen, it's just pixely as fuck.
Yeah, I know. Maybe invest in a DSLR or something like that.
Yeah, I know. Maybe he did, but he was like, oh man, if you turn the ISO up all the way to like 6400.
No, what it is, he shot it on front facing camera, and then rather than uploading it to like, I don't know, Google Drive or something,
he texted it. He texted it to the truck. He was like, hey guys, here it is. Edge, can you upload this like full quality? And he's like,
how? I texted it to you.
I texted it to you. It is full quality. Kevin Dunn's trying to enlarge it and shit. Like, can we put it through an AI thing? Does anybody have Topaz? Anyways, I want to give a quick shout out before we get to Rhea Ripley's promo here to El Rey Juan Carlos, new patron. This dude's at the t-shirt level. So I'm going to send out a t-shirt to El Rey Juan Carlos. And then we just got word Ty Weigel, also a new patron. They're going to have access, along with all of our YouTube channel members, not just to our bonus episode every Friday Overrun, but they also have access to the Big Red Predictions Challenge coming up at WrestleMania. That's right, the digital Big Red title is on the line. Prove that you could be top predictions person in the Friendo community.
What did Kevin Nash say on that microphone? Do you have what it takes to...
Are you ready to wrestle the champs?
Oh, that's what it is.
Are you ready to wrestle the champs? Yeah, man. So yeah, for YouTube channel members, you can do it as well. Just hit join. And of course, you also got access to the questions threads that we do for all the recap episodes as well. And our Wednesday Matt Chat episode where we do exclusively questions from our patrons and YouTube channel members. So be sure to click join or hop over to patreon.com/Steven Larson. $5 and up gets you all that shit I just talked about.
Yep.
Rhea Ripley comes out. This is a really long promo. Her basic thesis is, I bring out all your deepest insecurities. You try to mask it as confidence. You keep people you keep people down, but not me. You're washed up. It's over. You're the past. I'm the future. I'm the biggest champion. Or I'm sorry, I'm going to be the biggest champion and the biggest star in WWE. When you see me holding your crown above your head, you're going to know all your insecurities are true. I don't need you to respect me, but you will fear me. It's just like you said, man, she should be a person of action, not because you could tell she's not entirely comfortable. It's not like she's stumbling around. Like she can talk some shit to the crowd and stuff, but it's
like she knows this isn't the best stuff.
It's not the best stuff. It's not like, it's not. It's any time you get somebody in there and they're just in that vacuum of the ring. There are certain people it works with. Cody, the dude is basically a politician. That's what politicians do. They have town halls and rallies or whatever.
Stump speeches.
There you go. But yeah, Rhea Ripley, she's a brutalizer, man. She shouldn't be out there, on the stump, if you will.
Yes. Exactly.
So Damage Control's music hits. And Bailey says, Rhea, earlier talking about leaders, I was waiting for my name to be mentioned. I respect you. We all do. Anybody who puts Charlotte in her place has our utmost respect. But if you needed tips on how to beat Charlotte, you could have asked your role model. I pinned Charlotte in my first WrestleMania, and you saw last week what we did to Trish Stratus. And Rhea says, Bailey, I don't need your help. She says, I thought you'd say that. You're so cocky now. But guess what? Raw is our show. We're going to show you what that means. She says, this is your show. I'm not ring ready, but if you want to come in and try to get me out of my ring, go ahead. And Bayley says, ding dong, I'm the only one in my gear. Guess it'll be me. And then Pierce makes it official, sends a ref out. We get Rhea Ripley versus Bayley.
Yes. It was a fun match. At one point, Rhea's going for a riptide, but then Io distracts her and allows Io distracts the ref and allows Dakota to get in the ring, stick fingers in Rhea's eyes. Eventually, that allows Bayley to kind of turn the tables because Rhea was in control at that point. Bayley hits belly to back, gets a 2 count, and then Becky's music hits. So her, Trish, and Lita make the way to ringside. And Becky's got this huge thing of popcorn with her. So after commercial break, Bayley hits Bayley to belly, gets a 1 count, just a 1 count. And then eventually Rhea hits a boot, locks on the reverse cloverleaf. Bayley gets to the ropes. Damage control, pull her out of the ring. Well, then Rhea goes down to ringside and pulls Dakota up. And then Bayley sends Rhea into the post, face first. Becky backs up Bayley. And then so Bayley gets back in the ring. Rhea hits her with a headbutt and a riptide to get the win.
Absolutely. After that, we had Gable backstage looking for Otis. He's getting a manicure and a cucumber facial. And then he says, I know you're busy modeling, but I got us in that fatal 4-way showcase match. I have a match against Ricochet. He'll have Braun there, so I'm going to need you out there. And then Maxine comes up. She's like, Otis has a new opportunity with a hand modeling company. And then it's because the Maxim Male Models match against the Good Brothers has been postponed because of some stuff with Massey.
Was it over something? His cheekbones?
Yeah, something like that. Was this a match that had been scheduled for Raw?
It was announced in advance. I think it's just one of those running jokes they have.
Okay. Anyways, they both try to persuade Otis to come with them, and Gable's like, come on, coach, let's go. So he goes with Gable. He also ate the cucumber off his belly. That was part of his facial. That was pretty funny.
Yeah, it was.
Then we had, so this is, besides maybe the Joker one, the Brawling Brutes recreating the 40-year-old virgin stuff, I thought was fucking hilarious.
It was pretty funny.
I thought this was really good, especially Butch, being really uncomfortable with this stuff, but then being the guy to rip the tape off the nipple. Yeah. I thought this was more personality we've seen from Ridge Holland than in his entire career.
I know. The chemistry between everybody was really solid.
Oh, God, it was off the charts. This was really funny, and I really liked it, and I thought, okay, this is an iconic movie moment that they gave some light to. I thought this was a good one, man.
Yeah, it was pretty solid.
Yeah.
Then we got Ricochet versus Chad Gable. Of course, you got Braun coming down to the ring with Ricochet, Otis with Gable.
Oh, yeah.
So down towards the end, Ricochet is looking for a suplex. Gable reverses that into a dragon suplex for it. See, this match is actually really good. These guys are great.
Yeah, they're fantastic.
But then Maxine walks down the ramp towards ringside and walks up to Otis and more or less says, hey, come backstage with me. So he goes backstage, and Gable's he's crestfallen, just heartbroken that Otis is walking out on him. He turns his attention back to Ricochet, looks for a chaos theory. Ricochet lands on his feet, hits sliced bread, shooting star press to get the win.
That is correct. After that, we had a tag match with Bianca Belair and Asuka versus Chelsea Green and Piper Niven. Of course, I'll always love when they do the big spot with Bianca hitting the KOD on Piper Niven. It's super impressive. So she gets a KOD on Piper Niven. Bianca gets the win. But after the match, Asuka finally hits Bianca with a spin kick, a shining wizard, and then she sort of just dances around after that.
Yeah, there's a couple instances in this match where either Asuka would tag herself in and upset Bianca or vice versa. And there's one point where Asuka was going for like a back elbow or something in the corner on Piper.
Yeah.
Piper moves, so Bianca was already there, and Asuka leaps towards Bianca and doesn't hit the back elbow, but Bianca catches her. And they start arguing about that and stuff like that. So they won the match, but hardly a cohesive team.
Yeah, no. So next week we're going to get a weigh-in for Amos and Brock. By the way, for people interested, I started doing my universe, or the universe mode rather, on 2K23. I made OVW Brock, whose finish is a shooting star press, a beautiful one. Brock and Amos are a tag team. They're the tag team champions of Universe Mode. Their name is, of course, Bromas. And they have the Freebirds entrance as a tag entrance. Yeah, it's wildly awesome. And that's also, I've got a new trio team of Scott Hall, NWO Scott Hall, and Razor Ramon. My entire tag division, save for Bromas, are going to be raw gated. They're going to be the same. It's going to be the same people. It's going to be Finn Too Deep at the entire division.
So like Diesel, Kevin Nash.
You got it. Hollywood Hogan,
Hulk Hogan.
Right, exactly.
All right.
You got even here's a great thing too is that they got these baby OVW versions of wrestlers. So you got Prototype and John Cena, Leviathan,
Batista, yes,
young Randy Orton and old Randy Orton.
That's good.
Man, that's good. Stacked division of raw gated wrestlers.
Interesting.
Yeah,
interesting take there.
Pretty good stuff.
Then we got our main event segment. Roman's return to Raw. Steve, I'm sure you want to beat Cody, don't you?
In every way possible.
All right. So silly question by me, isn't it? So Roman comes to the ring first with Heyman and Solo. He says, St. Louis, acknowledge me. And then Cody's music hits. So he comes to the ring, gets on the mic. And what does Cody say, Steve?
He says, normally I would say, so, St. Louis, what do you want to talk about? I think I know what you do, Roman. The warning to me of staying out of personal and bloodline business. Mr. Heyman says, you have a Cody Rhodes problem. And I'd love it if you could define for me, what do you mean by problem?
So Heyman's about to talk. And then
I'm not talking to you. Mr. Heyman, sir, take a step back. I am talking to Le Tribal Chief.
So Roman says, well, let's get this straight. You're not the problem. What you represent is the problem. You see, he's what we used to be. Like our fathers, he's a professional wrestler. But I'm a fighter, which makes me the megastar around here. Don't tell that to LA Knight.
Whoa, I know. I was like gimmick infringement there, buddy.
I know. So Roman continues. You come here and say all these things you're going to do, and we all know you're not going to do them. Look at your track record. You didn't want to do the Stardust thing, so what did you do? You ran away. You ran away and you started a company, a promotion that you couldn't even get over in, and then you ran away from that. Then you came here, you got over, and then your body gave out on you, your pec popped. You ain't cut out for this. You aren't going to finish the story. It's a moment, just a lottery ticket. April 3rd is your moment. When you wake up, you'll have, he says April 2nd is your lottery ticket, but on April 3rd, that is your moment. When you wake up, you'll have to look in the mirror and confront that adversity. When you look in the mirror, I want you to make a choice that your dad would be proud of. Otherwise, you're going to do what you always do and run like a little bitch.
And Cody's wincing the whole time doing that shit. So he says, okay, run away. If you're a little nightmare out there, or if you know the undesirable to undeniable tale, you have to know that Roman is speaking the truth. I did run away. Business broke my heart and I ran from adversity, but I don't hear a lot of people complaining though, because what I did when I ran away was I made it so that 100% of every person out locker room could make a lot more money. So I'm not really worried about it. In addition to that, you're calling me a wrestler? I tried to be a wrestler at 20. I wanted to be a superstar. Maybe I am just a runaway, violent, like the taste of blood in my mouth, professional wrestler. I'll tell you what and make it clear. Nobody needs to bring up my father one more time. If I hear it again, I'm going to absolutely vomit. Ugh.
It's going to puke.
He's not going to hit this ring and hit a bionic elbow. My brother works elsewhere. The only thing you're going to see at WrestleMania is me. You want to talk about family? Let's bring up somebody you don't know. I think is his mother Cuban? Is that what he said?
Yeah.
He says, my Cuban mother, who in this moment would say, knock that boy out and hit him while he's down for good measure, which was an awesome line, by the way. He says, tell everyone on April 3rd what it means for me. Let's talk about what it could mean for you, what it will mean for you. April 3rd, Tribal Chief, you wake up and remember what it's like to lose. Without those titles, and when that happens, here's what else happens. Jay is going to leave you. And then Jimmy will leave you too. So no Usos. So then Solo, and you've been glaring at me all night, so let me tell you something. He said, yes, he said, let me tell you something. Thank you so much, Chris Garrix, for getting that in the notes, because I did not even realize it. That was the most professional wrestler shit ever. He says, so let me tell you something. You think you're ready, but you're not ready. Solo leaves you too. When he leaves you, Heyman becomes an advocate again. So there'll be you, a man without a family, a Roman with no more reigns, a chief without a tribe. Of course, the crowd is just eating this up right now, and Reigns gets kind of pissed off and disgruntled. He's been unmanned. He throws the mic down and walks out. And Solo and Cody have this stare off, and Cody's like, no, don't do it. Don't do it. You're not ready. He gets up in his face.
Well, I thought he was like, go ahead, do it. Do it. You're not ready for
okay.
this. Do it.
Yeah,
I thought he was egging him on to do it.
He was like, come on, let's have it. He says, and then he says, it's like I said. So Solo turns around and hits a Samoan spike, but instead Cody's ready and he kicks it away. And then okay, so no, it was before this. Solo's about to leave, and Cody says, I knew it, you're not ready. Yeah. And that pisses off Solo, and Roman's like, Solo, get out here. Come on, we're leaving. Yeah. But instead, that's when Solo goes for the spike. Cody kicks it away. He's about to go for another one, but Roman's got up on the apron, and he physically has to restrain him. And Solo looks at him like, and Roman's like, the fuck? You're making us look like assholes out here. And then the show ends.
Yep.
Yeah. Yep. Oh, boy.
It's a well-executed final segment.
It really was. We got a super chat here from Deontay. Says, Stephen Larson, just want to say hello. Love you guys. Thank you for being my number one podcast. Always my dudes. My love for wrestling has been even more. Well, thank you, Deontay. He's been around for a long time, Deontay.
True. Thank you so much, Deontay.
So I really appreciate that. A couple people probably apparently the guy that was with Logan was his dad.
Oh, all right.
Right on. Cool.
I know he shouted. He says during Logan's bit, he's like, he's complaining about knowing the crowd liking him. He says, my dad's here. He likes me. And there was a dude along the barricade on the entrance ramp that had a sign. I think it said like drink Prime or something like that. And so Logan stopped and gave the dude his bottle of Prime.
Be great.
Shouted him out too.
Be great if he just pointed at him and it's the Brock Lesnar guy. Like, well, that's not his dad. That's Brock Lesnar guy.
Carrie goes to his dad and Brock Lesnar guy. Same shirt.
The same shirt as always.
It's always the same shirt. You can ask us some questions. Yeah.
Absolutely. I got a thread up here on the YouTube, and I assume you have one on
is on the Patreon, yes.
By the way, we've got 621 people watching on the YouTube. What's up, everybody? So great to see you here. If you haven't already, do us a favor. It just, you know what, man? We just would really appreciate it. Just hit that thumbs up button. It really does help the show. And hit that subscribe button. Little notify bell. We're trying to get to 200,000 by the time we retire. Honestly, that's my goal. By the time we retire, another 10, 15 years, whatever it's going to be.
Well, I mean, what's retirement age now? 67?
Oh, they're going to up it by then. It's going to be 80, man.
Yeah,
we still got a good, 40 years left, I guess.
Something like that, 35, 40 years.
Miss Molly says, I have no...
grumpy now. Just wait till then.
Oh, my God. We're going to be insufferable. Unsufferable? Insufferable.
Insufferable.
Non-sufferable. Miss Molly says, I got no question. Just want to let you know y'all are the best, and I hope you two have a great day. Well, thank you very much, Miss Molly. We appreciate that. Hopefully you have a great day, too.
Yes. Ty Moore says, I think the build to this year's Mania main event has been stellar. Where would you say this ranks amongst the other Mania main event builds? We just did a count out of that, so we can't rank it for a few more years.
Okay, no, that's fair enough. But what was the top? What was our top one again?
Dude, that was 2 weeks ago. I don't remember.
Oh, come on. There's got to be an obvious. Oh, it was the Authority, wasn't it? Daniel Bryan?
Sounds right.
Was it Daniel Bryan?
Like we literally did that last week, and I don't remember what it is.
Was it Drew versus Roman?
No.
I'm sorry, Drew versus Brock, rather?
No.
No, it wasn't that. It wasn't the pandemic one.
I'll get it right here.
Where they never even talk to each other. If let's say Daniel Bryan, as you look that up, for me, if Daniel Bryan is the bar, so to speak.
Actually, we did that several weeks ago. That's right.
Yeah, it was like 3 or 4 weeks ago.
Yes, it was Daniel Bryan.
I gotta say, man, all building up to this, I'd say this probably tops that. You know what?
They stick the landing. Yes.
Here's a little hot take for you. Wasn't a fan of all the fans filling the ring for the big yes movement thing. I thought that was because you sort of making your point about Cody being shoehorned into this stuff, and it doesn't feel organic. It just felt cheesy having all those fans come in.
Cheesy. I don't disagree with that.
It was cheesy.
I remember at the time being like, "Oh, this is a bit much."
Yeah, right. Yeah, because I love Daniel Bryan. I love that whole thing, him getting there and the fan. But another thing about that build is that it was like the fans had to get them there. It wasn't like they wanted that to have, like WWE wanted that. It was like, the fans are going to really pitch a fit. We need to do this.
Yeah.
So, but yeah, I know we ranked it the best build and then we're like shitting on it now.
Yeah.
Wrestling Wriggle says, been watching WWF WWE since 1975.
Oh, wow.
Do you think the Bloodline story is one of the best storylines ever? And are there any others that come to mind? We do, I think, have a list.
Or at least a list in progress, yes, of the best wrestling storylines. And I think we're waiting till after this concludes, whether this be Mania or if it doesn't conclude then, whatever it does.
Yeah.
So there's other ones, like the most obvious ones that pop into mind are like the Mega Powers.
Yeah.
Ciampa Gargano.
Mm-hmm.
Those are the two that really stick out in my mind as far as wrestling stories that they took their time telling them and were actually, for the most part, pretty solid.
I'd be surprised if at the end of the day, when we sit down and look at it, if anything was better than this. I really would be. Because this is, it's been, if you go back to Roman's debut with Heyman, his return with Heyman to the original Tribal Chief stuff, and, the J stuff that they're able to reference now, it has been phenomenal. You want to talk about the Mega Powers, it was like a 2 or 2.5 year thing. This has been longer than that, more compelling. Maybe it's not like, back then wrestling was just a lot different. It was presented different.
Oh, yeah.
But this is more ambitious than that as well, because it's presented more different. There's that weekly television demand that we have, and there's been ups and downs, but man, this is, I get the feeling this is this is going to be the best one when all is said and done.
Let's see here. JR Jr., well, all things considered, where do you think the Bloodline will be at SummerSlam? Assuming there even is a Bloodline as a faction still.
Oh, man. I don't know. Yeah, I as a faction,
I would say they're kind of, here's what I'm kind of wondering. If what they'll do is, if they have Cody, they'll have, the finish the Mania match be kind of overbooked because it kind of needs to be to tell the story they want to tell.
Mm-hmm.
Cody gets the win. Bloodline more or less disintegrates. We don't see Roman for a while.
Yeah.
He comes back, maybe SummerSlam.
Mm-hmm.
And then
which we've been saying for a while now.
Yeah. And then they do Cody Roman 1-on-1 again there. Roman wants his rematch. And this time there's no overbooked. It's just the match.
Right. Yeah.
Where Cody gets his decisive win over Roman.
Yeah. And then how about this? At the end of that, he gets on the mic and says, "I don't need a partner. I need a brother." And then they team up, and they're like the new Mega Powers.
That's interesting.
Against the Young Bucks who are coming into the company.
Whoa.
Right? That's what you do. He's like, last time I fought these guys was my brother, but he's not even close to being as good as Roman
will you
Reigns.
Be my brother?
Will you be my new brother? Do the new bloodline, the nightmare bloodline. Star-Lord says, do you think Roman will receive help from the elders at WrestleMania, like a new member, or is the bloodline finished as a faction? Everybody goes their separate ways. Man, I think they're going to go their separate ways.
I think they're going to go their separate ways,
Yeah.
Luis here says, of all the announced matches, can you sort which night each match should go? So let's work under the assumption that Rhea Charlotte's main eventing night 1.
Yeah, sure.
And of course, Roman Cody night 2.
Yeah.
So there's 8 other matches booked for the show.
Okay.
So let's just say night 1 or night 2. So we'll start with Bianca and Asuka. Probably night 2. So you get a women's title match on each night.
Yeah, that makes sense. Yeah.
Brock versus Amos.
Big attraction match, night 1.
I'm gonna say night 1.
So if that's night 1, Seth Logan would be night 2, because that's sort of like another attraction match,
the Intercontinental title match. Gunther, Drew, Sheamus.
All right. Big work rate match. It's gonna be just a physical bout. Probably. Is there a counterpart to that match?
The closest I can get to is, and it's not even that close of an analogy, is Edge and Finn. I think Edge and Finn will probably be night 1 because they're going to give that a lot of time.
Okay, then I would say that Gunther, Sheamus, and Drew are night 2 then.
Night 2 then.
Yeah. What about Austin?
Because I think the main event night 2 is going to get a lot of time.
What about Austin Cena?
We have Intercontinental night 2, and then that's night 1. It's the U.S. title match.
Okay.
Becky, Lita, and Trish versus Damage Control.
Damage Control. Boy, these are some fucking heavy star power matches, huh? God
I know.
Damn.
Maybe night 1. I'm not keeping track.
Where did we have Cena Austin?
Night 1.
Then that's on night 2.
That one is? Okay.
Yeah.
So we have Edge and Balor in night 1. We have the women's tag team showcase match.
Kickoff show for night 1. Men's.
Let's say that match is on the other night than Becky, Lita, and Trish and Damage Control.
Okay, so night 1, and then the men's is night 2 then.
Okay. And then tag title bout. Usos, Kevin and Sami. I think it opens night 2.
That'd be cool. That's an interesting concept. I wonder if they're going to want to spread Bloodline out over 2 nights, though. I get the feeling that's
entirely possible. That's entirely
they'd
possible.
want to do, but it would be kind of awesome if they yeah, I think that's
what they say. Idea. If you don't go on last, you want to go on first.
Mm-hmm, yeah. Joe Compton, a new channel member.
Oh, thank you so much.
And he did the Friendo care package cool. Version. So I'll get that sent out in the mail. I got to get all those sent out. But the Friendo care package, $20 membership. You get where's the damn thing? This is the crowning piece. You get some stickers. You get an 8x10 with us, but also you get the Going in Raw comic book right here. Look at that. Larson and Steve here on the cover here fighting Earl Smothers, who's definitely let me tell you something, guy.
You got that right.
Cody said, let me tell you something.
And at the end of the day.
It's a bit of a Going in Raw time capsule, this comic book as well, because not only does it have a couple of great stories in it, but it's also got like a super old ad for T-shirts on the back.
Yeah, I know. It is an interesting time capsule of what Going in Raw was circa, I don't know what, 2017?
2017, yeah.
Old logo. Bunch of references from back then.
Yeah. Billy Gibson here asks, I listened to the Major Wrestling Figure podcast with Matt Cardona, Brian Myers, and Mark Sterling. Recently, Mark spoke about how he's not really with any group, but simply represents different clients. Who is another character similar to Sterling who could fit that type of multi-promotion manager role? I kind of thought that's what they were going to do with Stokely.
Mm-hmm. But then now the firm's got really good chemistry, and it's great.
Oh, because of that one thing, huh?
Oh, it's so good.
It is.
They've
really
been doing
good.
a lot of stuff of late that's been really good. But that training montage was awesome.
It's fun to see that shit come together. Yeah.
Stan asks, post-Mania, where does Dom go with his story since his heel turn has been all about his deadbeat dad? I don't necessarily think the story with Ray is going to end at WrestleMania.
They're going to have a series, I think.
Yeah, there's going to be more.
Yeah. But I think Dom needs to get so like unstable that even Judgment Day is like questioning like what have we done with this guy?
Yeah.
Yeah. He needs to be out there. Zyshon says, are you looking forward to a Solo Sikoa versus Roman Reigns feud down the line? I think that could be cool like a while from now. Sure. Absolutely. I think Solo needs to take some time and establish himself as not just an enforcer.
Yeah. Mayor Planet Houston here says Vince decides to sit backstage on Raw next week. Von Wagner has a dark match before the show and Vince loves him. He insists that Paul put him directly into the world title match at Mania and make it a triple threat. How do you add him to the story without ruining it?
I mean, the same way they do anything with Von Wagner. You just shoehorn him in without look, here's the thing. You can't without ruining it. That's impossible. So you just got to blunt force put him in. You know, it's like Cody and then Roman. And then you just have Vince come out. Say, okay, Vince, here's the thing. I'm going to write you back on the show. You want the adulation? Yeah. Okay, well, you're going to introduce your new protege, Von Wagner. And then Vince comes out. I'm back, God damn it. Where have you been?
This is what I think. This is what you do. You get the golden egg back. Remember the golden egg?
I do remember the golden egg.
Apparently, it's the golden egg stuff that Sami Zayn was involved that really impressed Vince and led to him being involved in the Bloodline. I read that.
All right.
And so, like, the golden egg is like the portal through which any talent can get into the Bloodline story.
Oh, good. Okay. Yeah.
And so you have Vince come with the golden egg and says, "Oh, I got the golden egg's back. I found my golden egg."
Yeah.
You know who helped me find it?
Yeah.
Von Wagner.
Hey, I found this egg on my property.
And so he says because of that, he gets put in the Mania main event.
Right. That's good. Yeah. Oh, I like it. Hey, by the way, and I know this is coming an hour and 33 minutes deep into the show, but I want to put this out there, man. And we got a lot of talented friendos out there who love the WWE 2K series. We need a Christmas mouse pad to use for not a mouse pad. We need the character Christmas mouse pad from our NXT reviews. No direction other than what you already know about him. So send in, and look, this isn't a thing where if you don't want to do it, because we're not paying anybody for this. We just want to take Christmas mouse pad. You know, you guys create Christmas mouse pads, and then we'll rate them. We'll consider them, and then we're going to name one official Christmas mouse pad.
Sounds good.
So it's a Christmas mouse pad contest, and the winner gets their Christmas mouse pad used in our stuff. Because I don't know, like this My GM stuff, people seem to really like it. Our draft is at 20,000 views. We're going to get another, week 1 episode coming up very shortly. And the sky's the limit. Maybe I'll just use it on Universe. I don't know. Maybe we'll want to do Universe mode with some
another
Reba
season
Cross
of My GM. Then we'll not just do WWE talents. We'll do some created wrestlers too.
This is kind of what I want to do. Is I want created wrestlers, but not from our back catalog of fun in WCW. I want created wrestlers that would fit well in the WWE and that have some relation to us.
All right.
Now I don't even know exactly what that means. I'm just saying I want some people that would fit well into the WWE because we're going to have a bunch of WWE people in our My GM in the next draft.
Yeah.
But we also want some created wrestlers as well.
Indeed. Joe Compton here with the Super Chat says Bobby Heenan was like that with the Heenan family. He managed more than one person.
Right, exactly. Heenan family was in like 3 different promotions or something like that. Alex Rivera says, looks like Edge is going to come out as a character of some sort at WrestleMania. Name one Rawgate character you would want Edge to come out as.
Oh, wow.
Gangredge. It's like Gangrel, but it's Edge. And it's not Brood Edge. It's Gangredge.
Yeah.
Again, that's a character that we would look for in our
something like that. That's
next
good.
draft. Gangredge.
That's good. I was trying to think of other properties out there that had the word Edge in it. You know, like he could come out cosplaying as the Edge from the band U2.
That's good. Yeah.
Or that movie Edge of Tomorrow with Tom Cruise, Emily Blunt.
Yeah. Oh yeah, there you go. That's good. I like that.
And that way he can kind of be like, stuck in a time loop. So if he loses, he goes back to the beginning of the match. He could try again.
Oh, wow. That's pretty good. Wonder how they'd execute that one. Yeah, I got nothing to add to that one. That's good. Caleb asks, are you guys watching the World Baseball Classic?
No, but I want to watch the finals. Apparently it's been really good.
He says the Japan-Mexico game was great.
That's what I heard. I heard like the drama has been great, and like the crowds have been huge and really into the games, and that's great.
Yeah.
Anything to get people excited about baseball.
Just see, this is perfect. John the drummer says, or his name is Hedge, and he's a landscaper. So use the hashtag Friendo. Any creations you guys have, any titles you want to make us, use the hashtag Friendo.
There we go.
I think universe mode could be kind of fun, dude. I'll be honest with you. Anthony Coneo says, is there anything that Roman could do to get under the skin of Cody, or will he be the one thing he doesn't figure out? He just needs to whoop his ass. He needs to have the bloodline be, look, what am I doing messing around with this guy? I've got 3 other dudes that can handle my business for me. Go fuck this guy up. And they just go fuck him up.
But, I would wager that it wouldn't be advantageous for Roman to bust open Cody, because if he is violent, love the taste of blood in my mouth pro wrestler, then that might just power him up if he gets busted open.
Right, but that's Roman's thing, is that he steps in shit, not realizing it. He sent Heyman over there to talk about his dad, and he unlocked this Cody, and that's Roman's Achilles heel, is he tries to manipulate the situation, but he just should have shut up, because he would have had Cody's number if he just would have kept his mouth shut.
Should do. I'm gonna leave you alone. I'm not gonna
right?
talk to you.
Yeah.
I'm not gonna interact with you.
Yeah.
Go sit in my bus. I'm gonna eat my steak, my sushi, my mahi.
Yeah.
And guess what? You'll see me at WrestleMania. You're not gonna see me till then.
How about this? He sends Cody an edible arrangement with a card that says "I'm sorry."
says, Cody, I'm sorry. You're pretty great.
Right. And Cody's like, I'm sorry. What is he sorry? Which thing is he sorry for? Which thing that he said is he sorry for?
I know.
And then Cody's like, what is this guy doing? You know?
Let's confuse him.
And then like he gets to WrestleMania and during the entrance, Cody does a whoa and looks up. And I know it's in this kayfabe, it's open air. And there's a plane that goes by and it says, Cody Rhodes is great.
Yeah.
Roman.
Yeah.
You know, dash
you could do it inside with some drones. The drones could spell that out.
Oh, that's no. I think Roman. He's Paul Heyman's doing. He's like, how about a plane with a banner? And Roman's like, wise man, what about those drones? I don't know where to get those, but I do know a guy with a plane. the Bloodline are just bumbling fools. Oh man, let's see here. We got a couple more questions. We could speed run these ones.
El Rey Juan Carlos here asks, which WWE legend interrupts The Miz during hosting duties at WrestleMania? LA Knight.
I mean that could what WWE legend? LA Knight.
Yeah.
I think Austin, and then LA Knight interrupts Austin.
Oh, there we go.
Benoit Richter says, for The Rock, not at Mania, maybe he should be in a tag team match. Will be easier for the health. What about The Rock with Roman Reigns against the Usos for next year? I think Rock should be in a solo match, like a big Roman Reigns type match.
Yeah. If he even does another one. Nikyle here asks, what do you think in kayfabe Adam Pearce is going to say about why he booked the two showcase tag matches? He wants to showcase talent. I think the rationale in kayfabe, out of kayfabe could be one and the same.
WrestleMania is a big deal. He wants to let people
the
get their moment. Yeah, exactly. Yeah. Higmeister, this is the last one I got here on the YouTube, says, you guys have 3 hours to spare. Would you rather go to dinner with Logan Paul or watch Mrs. WrestleMania the musical 90 times in a row? I'd rather go to dinner with Logan Paul.
Give us some pointers about YouTube and stuff.
The one selfie alone with him would probably get us to 200,000.
Maybe. Ugh.
Be like, yeah, hey, can we get an impromptu interview while you're eating your mahi-mahi? Yeah. Sure, dudes.
Yeah, maybe.
And then we do that. And he's like, I heard you guys, talking shit about me. You don't care about me as a character. Look, man. Don't make things awkward, Logan.
Yeah.
Yeah, so.
Yeah, so.
Yeah, so. What are you going to do about it? And then the thumbnail, Larson knocks out Logan Paul at dinner. That'll get like 1 million views right there, man.
Mondo here says,
Steve throws Larson at Logan Paul. I do that spot. Use you as a weapon.
There we go. Mondo here says, do you think the tag division WWE could continue to be main event level after Mania, or will this be a one-off thing for this specific match? The story's right, it could be, but it's all dependent on the story, I think.
Yeah, absolutely. Anything else?
I think we covered most everything else.
All right, that's going to do it then for the show. Thanks, everybody, for tuning in. We absolutely appreciate it. Once again, hit that like button, hit that subscribe button, and the little notify bell next to it. We'll be back tomorrow with our QA episode, our Matt Chat episode. So patrons, $5 and up, be on the lookout for the questions thread. Also, same goes with the YouTube channel members. Be on the lookout for the little membership tab there as well. Usually they send you a notification when that happens. Thanks, everybody, for tuning in. We appreciate it. Till next time, we'll talk to you later.
Goodbye.